Hello, YouTubers. I think I must be slanking. Oh, that the vibration stopped. Because I read this book like 3 or 4 days ago, and I haven't made a video on it yet. Fail very much is what that is. Basically, it goes over several different types of moral systems. It's meant to be an introduction to moral philosophy, and it's only like 183 pages. So lots of breadth, not a whole lot of depth, which it's okay for 100 level class. If this was like a 300 level class and this is the book we got, I'd be asking questions. But for 100 level, this is just fine. I want to go over each of the systems brought up, mainly in order of the ones I find the most interesting to the ones I find least interesting-ish. There's some that are kind of the same amount. So the different moral theories is cultural relativism, that are mentioned in this. Religion, ethical egoism, social contract, utilitarianism, Kantianism, the ethics of care, the ethics of virtue. That's it. I'll give you a very quick rundown of what I think of each one. Cultural relativism. I agree with the book. Basically, it's important to think that maybe your culture's wrong and other people are right, but cultural relativism is way too extreme in this case, because it seems like there are certain moral things that are universal. It's just that different cultures come at it differently. So that's how I feel about it. Religion, I'm an atheist, so I'll explain more when I get to that part of the book. Ethical egoism, I'm going to have a lot to do there, because I don't think Ayn Rand should have aligned herself with that title at all. I'll explain more. That's definitely going to be a video. Social contract, which is the ban of people with my political beliefs. You say social contract around a libertarian of any stripe, they'll just, no. Yeah. Well, minarchists and conservative libertarians, like Ron Paul, might hear the social contract and be like, oh, yeah, okay. But if they're like hardcore libertarians, it'll make them feel dead inside. Make them feel very sad. Make them very sad panda. Sad panda is what happens when you mention social contract to a libertarian. They become sad panda. Utilitarianism, I don't think it works by itself. I think it could work as like a help, an aid criteria. I'm going to do utilitarianism first. And I think I'm going to make this video just an intro video, and then I'm going to do the main videos. Yeah. Okay, well. Then there are other absolute moral rules, which gets into Kantianism. And I don't know, there's some good stuff. With most of these things, there's salvageable stuff and things that I don't get. Like the main thing that got to me with Kant and this one was retribution versus utility theory and punishment. When it comes to punishment, I'm in the prison should be a rehab, because criminals are simply they're sick or ill mentally, or they have incorrect beliefs, they're irrational, or they're just their minds haven't been developed enough, or they've been traumatized as children or something like that. Something like that. Prison should be to correct people and make them productive again. It shouldn't be to punish them, which Kant is like, kick their ass because they kicked yours first, which is retarded, in my opinion. I shouldn't use that word retarded. I should just say, I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't. All right, next one: feminism and the ethics of care. Yeah, I disagree with it, but I think mainly because it speaks a language I don't understand. Like, I guess it's based on that. It says that males think one way and females think another morals, and I'm like hyper male. I think in terms of rules and principles and concepts. Like, will an action hurt or help people? Does it violate property? Does it follow these certain rules? Does it seem just or unjust? I don't think in terms of relationships. It seems like that would compromise the reason of it. I don't know. Ethics of virtue. Yeah. I'll mention this later, but I think Rand is a virtue theorist. She just doesn't say it a whole lot. She comes off as a virtue theorist, in my opinion. I mean, Ayn Rand has the 7 virtues, which are like these virtues you're supposed to do all the time. Yeah, I agree with the book on here too, that ethics of virtue, virtue ethics doesn't make a whole theory. It's really good if you like mix it in. It's a really good mixer. Like you mix it in with other stuff. Because by itself, it just isn't enough. Oh, he made a really, I don't know if James or Stuart Rachels who made the argument. There's a really good argument about how like virtue ethics doesn't answer the questions right. That's right, I remember it now. Virtue ethics doesn't say do this or do that. It doesn't talk about actions, it talks about character. So it's very difficult to figure out what to do with virtue ethics. It's very difficult to get a overarching system of how to live off of virtue ethics alone. It seems like you gotta mix it. That's basically it. That's my intro video. Hope you enjoy it. If I go a whole week without doing a single video on one of these topics, send me messages. If you can send pictures of like a guy wagging his finger, like doing this, one of these, or his evil eye, you should do that to remind me to do that. And as a tangent to this, I want to show you my funny computer background, because it's hilarious. Oh, I think you can see it. Guy says, acting on desires is irrational. And the philosopher dude says, yes. And the stick man says, that's too bad, because I really wanted to believe your theory. Thinking. I don't know if you can see that, but it's damn it. it's kind of funny. Stick philosophy is a funny place. Oh, they had this really great Putman one. Well, we can't really meaningfully say that we are brains in a vat. And then it goes to a picture of them being in their brains in a vat, and the other guy's saying, yeah, I see your point. It is pretty good. You should check it out. Alright, that's all.